Is this light okay?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Welcome to an all new DTI Takeover show. I am your host, G Sweets. And for those of you that may not know, DTI stands for Desire to Inspire. So we like to interview individuals that we feel are desire that we feel has the desire to inspire the community around them. And I have a young lady with me today that I feel is doing just that in her community. She is no new face, or she's not someone new to me because I've been knowing her since she was a teenager. We actually went to high school together.
Yes.
Um, so shout out King, Casey.
Who
I
say it?
have absolutely. I have with me today Miss Roxanne Griffin, aka Roxy. I'm going to call her Roxy throughout the show. Hi, Roxy. How you doing?
I'm good. Miss Angie, how are you?
I'm doing good. Well, I have to say, being in this setting with you is surreal. Especially given our history. How
Hmm.
we went to high school together, and Roxanne you're a year young under me, right?
I
Are
think
you
so.
a
Yeah, I
year?
graduated. Oh six. I graduated oh 06.
Okay, so you're 2 years under me.
Mm-hmm.
So you 2 years under than me, and being in that high school setting, who would have thought some 20 odd years later, we'll
Who
be
would have
sitting
thought?
here having a conversation about your organization that you started,
Yes. And
right?
I remember back in high school, I looked up to you. You were, somebody that mentored me, especially when we were in the volleyball team together. You were always
Yeah.
so nice, so sweet, and motivating. So I appreciate
No.
that. Always, I think about that.
Oh, Roxy, you're welcome. Yes, she was my baby, you guys. So, Roxy, before we get into your organization and what it is that you do with that, could you let everybody know a little bit about you?
Yes, of course. First, I want to thank you for having me. I'm excited to share not just what Uniform Women is, but also why it matters. Because
Hmm.
it's more than just an organization, and it's a movement. And um, I'm happy and proud to get it started. I'm a
Absolutely.
wife and a mom too, a business owner. I've served in the Army Reserves for 15 years and counting. I was a correction officer for nearly 7 years before stepping fully into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And outside of my professional life, I enjoy fitness, running, and just spending time with my family.
Oh, Roxy got a family, y'all. Like a whole
It's a
family.
whole family. I'm a whole adult out here.
Yeah. Wow, Roxanne. So, Army Reserves, 15
Hmm.
plus years.
Yes.
And you said a correction officer?
Yes, I was a correction officer for, it was actually 6 years and 9 months.
6 years and 9 months.
Hmm.
So this is going on while you're still doing like the Army Reserve thing?
Yes, I did both at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
And during COVID, it was a it was a very interesting
It's
time.
a very interesting time, a corrections
Hmm.
officer. Okay. So I have to ask, and I'm pretty sure my listeners and my viewers want to know, why the Army? Why Army Reserves?
Initially, I joined because, well, my father was in the army.
Okay.
My brother was recently, um, he recently joined the army when I was thinking about it. So I did come from a military family, but
Okay.
then I was interested in the educational benefits. So that's initially, to be honest, that's initially what drew me to it. But as I got started, it was just something that it just kept motivating me and pushing me to become greater and greater as the years went on. And I started off enlisted, So I started
Okay.
off as a private, no rank. And then I came up in the ranks on the enlisted side. And then once I got to E5 sergeant, I crossed over to the commission side, and now I'm a captain.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Captain Roxanne.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So you said you started or you were a corrections officer. So how did
Mhm.
that come into play?
Um, Crazy again. Both my parents were correction officers.
You know what? Y'all some. All right. I-
Yes, growing up in high school, I don't know if you remember this. Both of my parents were correction officers. They worked in Detroit at Mount Correctional Facility, and
Okay.
so I grew up with correction officers, and I said, why not? And then
Look
at
at
the
you.
time, so one of my brothers, I got two older brothers. One of my brothers was in the army, and he was an officer. And then my other brother was a correctional officer, and then I'm the youngest. I said, I'll do both.
Well, look at that. Following in the footsteps of the family.
Yes.
So how has it been for you, following in your family's footsteps?
It didn't take long to notice that it was a different world for me. You know,
Okay.
um, both of these are very male dominated spaces.
Right.
And yeah, I noticed very quickly that the rules of the game was different for me,
Okay.
and that I had to move, strategically, carefully in these spaces if I wanted to be safe
Right.
and respected. If I wanted to
Mhm.
keep my dignity,
Right.
you have it's different rules for women in these careers. So,
Right.
and that's pretty much what moved me to start Uniform Women, because I know firsthand how hard it can be for women to find visibility and mentorship in these male dominated spaces.
Right.
I wanted to create a place where women don't just serve, but they can lead at the highest level, and pass on their knowledge for the next generation of women that are thinking about joining the military or these public safety careers.
Absolutely. Wow. Wow. So let's go ahead and just, dive into uniform women. Look at me getting real comfortable over here. I forgot we was on live recording. Okay, so uniform women. So you tapped on or mentioned, why you started uniform women. When
Mhm.
did this all come about for you?
Um, so actually just getting started this year,
Okay.
but this this passion, this vision has been growing in me since since the years that I've been in uniform,
Okay.
through the conversations that I've had with other women that felt like they have been overlooked, or they don't have the representation that they feel they need to succeed in the industry, in the profession. And that's exactly how I felt. Because
Mhm.
I'm on one hand, I'm in the military, I'm in the army, and I'm progressing. I'm
Mhm.
thriving. But then on the other hand, I'm in corrections, and it's like this something is not translating over here,
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
still me.
right.
So what's the difference? And the difference is that I just didn't have women. I would say I just didn't have the adequate female leadership and mentorship
Mhm.
to show me the way. I had to figure it out on my own, and it's just something that needs to be worked on, truly.
Okay, so are you still a corrections officer or you let that go?
No, I've been out of corrections since November 2022. That's when I decided to step fully into entrepreneurship.
Okay.
Me and my husband started a business in March 2020.
Okay.
crazy. That was the start of COVID, and
Mhm.
we decided to start a business at that time as well. So we've been working that, and it's been going great. We've been learning a lot, and in November, I just say, you know what, I want to give my all to this business that we decided together to start. So
Nice. Nice. Okay. So uniform women. Uniform women. You know, what does uniform women cover? Is it just, your officers? Or is this any woman in uniform, like a nurse uniform or a doctor uniform?
it covers any woman in uniform that feels underrepresented.
Okay.
So when you think of a firefighter,
Mhm.
you usually don't imagine a woman.
You don't.
A
Mhm.
police officer,
Same thing.
these are male dominated spaces.
Mm.
EMS, military, all branches of the military. Uniform, the women in uniform are about, on average, 13%.
Okay.
And that's in every career. It's average 13% or less.
Wa- Wow. Okay.
I think corrections is somewhere at 25 to 30%, but that's today's statistics.
Right.
So, and the turnaround is high. So they come, they go, and that this organization, I want to build something that helps women not only get into the career but also stay and grow in their position and get promoted to leadership, because sometimes we just don't have the necessary tools for longevity, and
Right.
that's what I want to provide.
Nice. So, being a correction officer, or first of all, it sounds like the Army Reserves have done you very well.
I think so.
Um,
Yes, thank you.
so being in the correction industry in that realm, what was some of the things that you yourself came across, that kind of raised your eyebrow,
Oh,
and when it comes to women, like the differences of the women in the industry and the men in the industry.
um, I can say this about both Army Reserves and corrections, and though I'm not in the other careers, I can confidently say that this is probably going on across all military branches, across all public safety professions, because, like I said, they're all male dominated spaces, so it's
Mhm.
kind of very similar. But what I experienced was a lot of boys will be boys type behavior and conversations, and
Mhm.
I'm sometimes I would be the only woman in the room, and it's like
Mhm.
you kind of got to tiptoe.
Right.
Because yeah, I could just say, I don't like that. Then now you become that girl, like, oh,
Can't talk around her. Can't say
can't
nothing
talk
around
around
her.
her. Yeah,
Mhm.
now it's like, nope. Now you're an outcast,
Outcast.
because
Mhm.
no, they don't want to. You're not fun,
Mhm.
and it's like a very thin line, because I do demand respect. You will, respect my boundaries and respect who I am, so on. So, like I said, that those are the things you kind of gotta tiptoe, and you got to learn on the go.
Right.
And I feel like if there were more women around, we wouldn't have to have that type of culture.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's what I'm trying to work into.
Okay. So with your organization, so we know those industries, like you said, are male dominated, you know.
Hmm.
Um, with your organization, are you trying to, encourage more women to be in these industries?
Absolutely, yes, because we need it. It is very necessary. Women bring compassion and perspective and balance. to public
Mhm.
safety because right now it's very unbalanced. It's just one sided. And the public is not one sided. The public is
Right.
very diverse. So our public safety servants should also be diverse. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I sometimes I think of it like, if you out with your girls and y'all out at night and one of your girls want to go, she got to go to the bathroom. You gonna let her go by herself? No,
No.
you're gonna go with
You're
her
right
because
there.
it's safety in numbers. It's
Mhm.
safety for officers, firefighters in numbers for women because, like I said, a lot of times you could be the only woman in the room,
Mhm.
and it's 2025 and it's still this way.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Hmm.
So what else um are you looking to offer, with your organization, Uniform Women?
I'm looking to offer mentorship. I
Okay.
want to build a network of female mentors and that are already in the profession
Yes.
and pair them with young women who are maybe transitioning out of another career and looking to start in public safety, or young women that are fresh out of high school or fresh out of college and they're considering a career in public safety. I want to offer training, so they can get familiar with the career before just diving in because it can be a culture shock, truly.
Right.
So I want to offer some familiarization before just diving in. That way they're not shocked
Right.
by what their career is going to entail, and therefore may be able to have some longevity. Counseling, because it can be a lot sometimes. There are some
Mhm.
days that are just mentally a lot, and that goes with any career that you
Mhm.
want to take serious. So yeah, so mentorship, training, visibility, representation. That's what
Uh,
I'm offering.
that's what you want to offer. Wow, Roxy, this is amazing. This is
I'm very
amazing. Look at
excited.
you. Yeah,
I'm
you
very
should be.
excited. Yes, I just started this year, and I feel like already I feel like it's moving fast.
Is it? Oh, that's
Yes,
good. Oh, that's good. That's good. What's really crazy is that, I think what you're doing is needed, right? Um, you might be, are you the first that's doing something like this?
I don't know.
You're
I
the
don't
first that
know.
came across my desk.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is amazing, especially you being the voice, because you do have inside information, facts, experiences that could possibly help the next woman, like you said, trying to get into that industry. I think it'll be a really, really big help for women. Um, do you know if your organization like will provide resources for, you know, job opportunities
Yes,
in
that
that
is
field?
the goal. I'm sorry.
I said job opportunities in that field.
Yes, that is the goal. Eventually, I want to be able to offer scholarships
No, nice.
to the academy, like law enforcement academy or firefighter EMS academy, because you do have to go through formal training before
Mhm.
you can become certified in those areas. So eventually, yes, I would love to give scholarships to women that want to start.
Wow, that's great. Oh,
And the idea actually came to because I would always, I felt like women were drawn to me to come
mhm.
ask me, how do I, like, I'm thinking about joining the army. I've had a coworker when I was in corrections who wanted to join the army, and she did.
Mhm.
She came to me because she noticed that I would be gone for drill duty on the weekends sometimes, or I'd be gone for a month at a time doing my army reserve duty. And
Mhm.
so she just asked me like, "Where do you go? What do you do?" And I told her
Right.
about it, and she was like, "I want to do that." And so I walked her through that process, and she joined. She actually ended up going active duty and leaving corrections completely. So I was like, wow, girl, you go, girl. And I just love that. I love
Right,
being able to help women reach their full potential, really.
right. Wow. Well, Roxy, I think this is awesome that what you're doing with your organization, what you've done in your life, period. Your accomplishments. I'm sorry, Captain Roxy, put some
Thank you.
respect on her name. If you comment on this video, say Captain Roxy.
Thank you. Thank you. I
You're
appreciate it so much.
welcome. No problem. I'm super, super proud of you. Definitely proud of the woman that you've become.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're welcome. So if we have listeners that may want more information from you about uniform women, how would they get in contact with you?
You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, as well as TikTok at Uniformed Women. My email address is uniformedwomenorg@gmail.com. Yeah, let's
Okay.
connect.
Correct. Absolutely. I need all of my uniform women, my women in uniform that should be a part of that should be a part of her organization to help the women that want to be in uniform. Give
Yes.
them some advice, show them the way, share your experiences. I definitely see you going into schools and,
Yes.
talking to a classroom about uniform women. Hopefully get some young girls under your belt, maybe train them up and get them ready for the industry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of see all of
That's
that in your
actually my
future.
next step. Yes.
Yep, I see that. I see that. Well, Roxanne, it has been great talking to you and getting to know about your organization. This has been fun,
Yes.
truly
Thank you
fun.
so much for having me, and we gotta connect next time I'm in the
You,
D.
yeah, we do. It's been a long time coming. So
Mhm.
yes, we'll definitely do that the next time you are here. Just hit me up, let me know
I will.
when you in the city. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the DTI Takeover Show, and we're out. Peace. Bye bye.